Hi, I'm Francesca Bianchi, and I did my thesis project on antidepressants versus other forms of medications that you could say for treating depression. And I chose this topic because one of my majors is psychology, and one of them is exercise and sports sciences. And it said that exercise can help with depression, so I thought it would be a good way to combine the two together and talk about this. And anyway, so first I'm going to talk about depression. Depression sometimes goes undiagnosed. People don't know that they have it, or they think that, I don't really want to take medicine, or I can't remember to take my medicine every day. So they're going undiagnosed, or they're going untreated for depression. So they're not taking their medicine, and it leads to other things such as suicide or other behavioral problems, or worse case scenarios. And some people are embarrassed. They don't want to tell anybody if they're feeling sad, especially, I know it's different for guys. Guys, sometimes, if they are feeling sad all the time, they think that they can just work through it. Girls are more open with their feelings. If they're always feeling sad, they might be more open to saying, hey, I always feel sad, that shouldn't happen, because nobody should feel like that all the time. And so one of the options is to actually take an antidepressant. And what an antidepressant is an SSRI, and what that is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and it basically blocks the absorption of serotonin. So in turn, you have more serotonin, and it boosts your mood. Now that's great, because then you're in a better mood. But some of these antidepressants can have negative side effects. I looked up the symptoms for one of my research things, was looking at the symptoms for the negative side effects of antidepressants, and they were like dry mouth, diarrhea, weight gain, being anxious instead of being depressed, which sounds weird to me because I don't know, I wouldn't want to be either, but things like that. And it talked about, one thing that it really stressed was a lot of people don't want to take antidepressants because they don't want to gain weight, because in turn that's making them even more depressed, which I think makes a whole lot of sense. And I think that's a great place for exercise to come and play with depression. A lot of people know that exercise is said to increase your endorphins. I'm sure everybody has seen Legally Blonde, where she talks about how she exercises. People that exercise are happy. They don't kill their husbands. So that's one of the things that you can do instead. A lot of people run and they say it gives off endorphins. They don't have to they're getting off their antidepressants because they're running so much that it's releasing endorphins, and their mood is just so much better. A lot of people have worse depression where that doesn't always work. It could work to an extent, but you might need to take medicine. You might need to seek therapy, and you could exercise as well to help you out. Another form of exercise that's supposed to be good for depression is yoga, which I actually do yoga. And sometimes it's very, very relaxing. But sometimes it's kind of extreme, because I feel like they try to relax you so much that where you're laying on the ground for 5 minutes after class is over, and someone's spraying essential oils all over the room, and you're just in this great, happy place. And I think that's a great way to get in a good mood. And through yoga, I have learned that they always say to thank yourself. Thank yourself for giving you this time to not think about anything else in your life. If you start thinking about work or school or something, you're supposed to say in your head thought and block that thought out, which is really hard to do. So, basically the whole time in yoga I'm saying thought, thought, thought. So, yoga is another form. Any form of exercise, I think, would be beneficial in helping. Sorry. Like I said, though, it's not always enough, and there are prescription drugs that do work, and it's very, very important that you take them correctly because they can be misused, they can be abused, they can be used. If you're really depressed, you could take all of them to commit suicide. You could, if you didn't actually need them, you could be selling them. That's just the wrong reason to take them. Another thing about antidepressants, sorry, I forgot where I was going next, but another thing about antidepressants is a lot of people, they start taking them and they're like, oh, I'm happy, I'm not depressed anymore, so I don't need to take antidepressants, you know? And so they stop taking them. And it's very, very dangerous. I have learned that to stop taking antidepressants if you're prescribed. First of all, if you want to stop taking them, you have to start lowering your dosage. Your doctor has to gradually lower your dosage, or you have withdrawal effects. Because basically, an antidepressant is a prescription drug. I know some people might not agree with me, but I did some research. I think it is. It's a prescription drug, and it can have negative side effects. You can get sick. You can throw up. You can get something that's called a brain zap. If you turn your head a certain way, you just can't focus, and it's really bad, and it also messes with the chemistry of your brain, obviously, because it's no longer blocking the absorption of serotonin. So in turn, you're getting hostile. You're getting mean. I've heard of people wanting to kill their families because they decided one day that they didn't need to take their medicine anymore. And I think it's something that's like really dangerous. And by like talking about all this, I don't necessarily think that you should be like, if anybody does have depression, you should be like, oh, I'm gonna exercise instead of take my depression medicine because I think that will help now. I don't think that at all. In fact, I suffer, and I have for a long time, from severe depression, and I take antidepressants and I work out. I know you can't really tell, but I work out. I do both, but I have looked into the side effects of them because it is concerning putting something in your body every day. It's concerning what it's going to do in the long run. It's concerning how it will affect you. Like I said, girls don't want to gain weight. If it says on the thing, may cause weight gain, and then you know somebody who's taken it and they've gained a lot of weight, you don't want to take it. And I think that that's another reason that made me want to choose this topic, because it's something that I'm passionate about. I've done not just research for this project, but for years I've done research about different, not just exercise, but different remedies, different vitamins that you can take. I think evening primrose is a vitamin that you can take that's supposed to be good for you. I've researched essential oils. I researched a lot of natural ways just because I don't want to have to rely on something. But if you do need to, which I think that I do, I've experimented and I feel like I do need to be prescribed to something like an antidepressant. There's nothing wrong with that. There's just other things that you can do to help you cope and to make life easier. And I think that concludes my thesis, and I hope y'all had a good semester.